Your everyday carry is important because what you're capable of doing at any point in time is limited by the things you're able to carry with you. If you're like me, you want to reduce both the amount that you need to spend and the number of things you need to carry with you, while also trying to maximize ease of access as well as the practical utility of each item. So the best place to start is with a good bag. Now, the one I use is the Everyday Backpack from Nomadic, which has an unbelievable amount of organization and functionality. This is a 20-liter bag that easily expands to 30 liters with just one zipper, which is how I normally keep it. On the front side, there's a large zippered section with 12 mesh and zippered pockets, one of which is RFID safe, and a main compartment that can open completely thanks to the full perimeter zippers. Inside of the main compartment is a padded sleeve that fits up to a 16-inch laptop, 2 more sleeves in front of that for an iPad, Kindle, or something like a notebook, and 9 more mesh and zippered pockets for even more organization, one of which fits a keyboard perfectly and another that comes with a protective case for sunglasses. There's also a fleece lined pocket on top for quick access items, 2 magnetic pockets on either side that expand when you need them and snap shut when you don't, and the back side has extremely comfortable padding, a hidden zippered pocket for a passport, and a luggage pass-through option for when you're just feeling lazy in the airport. This has been my go-to bag for several years now, and I carry it with me absolutely everywhere. Now, the first thing I keep in the bag is the Phillips GoZero, which is a self-cleaning water bottle. This is a 20-ounce insulated bottle that does exactly what every other bottle does. It holds water. But the reason I use this one is because of the UVC light under the lid that kills up to 99.999% of bacterias, viruses, and odors. The UVC light runs on a 2-hour timer and activates automatically, but you can also activate it yourself by just pressing on the lid, and the battery life on this thing lasts 30 days. Now, I'm not saying that if you get one, you won't need to wash it. All I am saying is that, well, I have one and the self-cleaning works. Next up is what I keep in the quick access pocket on top, which, depending on the day, is either my sunglasses or AirPods. If it's sunny out and I know that I'll be taking my sunglasses on and off a lot, I'll keep those in the top pocket. Otherwise, they stay in the protective case that comes with the bag. These are the Oslos from Roka, and yes, they are a little pricier than the Ray-Bans and Oakleys I've owned, but they're super lightweight, have anti-slip grips in the frame, which is fantastic if you have an active lifestyle, and come with really nice polarized lenses that have an anti-scratch and anti-fog coating on them. Although I did need to order a set of non-polarized lenses because I didn't realize until I was already in free fall that you can't see the LCD screen on an altimeter with polarized lenses. So luckily I had an audible altimeter in my helmet as a secondary, so I knew exactly when to deploy my parachute. Now, when the sunglasses are tucked away in the case, my AirPods will be in the top pocket, and these are the AirPod Pros 2 with a black leather case from a company called Anker. The only reason I upgraded to the 2nd gen is because Apple finally ditched the lightning port on the 1st gen for USB-C on these, meaning that I now only need to carry USB-C cables to charge all of my devices. And just to be clear, that's not to say that there isn't a drastically noticeable improvement in both noise cancellation and sound quality with these over the 1st gen Pros, because there definitely is. But pairing the improvements with no longer needing to carry a lightning cable, and to me, the upgrade has definitely been worth it. And then speaking of charging cables, I do keep 3 USB-C cords in the backpack at all times, 2 of which are 6-foot-long braided nylon cords from Anker that both come with Velcro straps to keep the excess cord in check when the entire length isn't needed. And the 3rd is a 6-inch Thunderbolt 4 cable that's usually tucked away with an external drive in the SSD sleeve on the front of my MacBook. Next up is the thing that allows me to work and actually afford everything you see in this video, which is actually a near base model M1 MacBook Pro with 16 gigs of RAM and 1 terabyte of internal storage. I'll be honest though, I did pick up one of the new M3 Pros when they first came out, and as awesome as that new space black color looks, the performance upgrades over the M1 just didn't make that much of an improvement to my workflow to justify keeping it. So I am sticking with the M1 until either the performance of it limits my workflow or I just cave to my impulses and spend over $3 grand for stupid color. The next item in my everyday carry is a Kindle, which, coming from someone who's always preferred real books and never thought I would buy a Kindle, is something that's actually boosted my productivity a lot. Reason being is because you can do 2 things with the Kindle that you just can't do with real books. First of which is, even with the cheapest model, which is the one that I have here, can hold a ridiculous number of books. I'm pretty sure this thing can hold like 3,000 of them. And as someone who admittedly has a short attention span, this means that while only needing to carry something a fraction of the size and weight of a real book, I can have access to multiple books, allowing me to cherry pick the chapters I want to read in one before easily switching to another. Secondly, it syncs with an app called Readwise, and this is where the big boost in productivity comes from. With a real book, if you find a quote or something that you want to remember, you need to put the book down and then either manually type it into your notes with a computer or phone, or write it down. But with a Kindle, you can quickly highlight things as you go, and Readwise then automatically stores the highlights inside of the app, making it so everything's organized and quick to access. You can also set up push notifications to help remember the highlights you've saved, which I have set to send me 3 short ones every morning. Now, this isn't sponsored, but if you are interested in checking out Readwise, I did include a link in the description that will give you and I both a free month. Next up is something that's quickly become a favorite of mine. It's been all over the world with me, and it is the Ricoh GR III. Now, don't get me wrong, iPhones do take incredible photos these days, and this is definitely more of a nicety than a necessity, but for those who want to take higher quality photos with more control over the process, this is an unbeatable option. I could easily nerd out over the specs, but to keep things simple, it has a 24.2 megapixel APS-C sensor with 3-axis internal stabilization, an 18mm f2.8 lens, which is the equivalent of 28mm on full-frame cameras, but my favorite thing is the full catalog of film simulations similar to the Fujifilm X100V that look amazing straight out of camera, and you don't need to do any additional editing. Speaking of editing though, BenQ did send me this monitor, which I've been using for several weeks now, and it's been incredible. It's a 27-inch IPS panel that offers incredibly sharp 4K resolution and excellent color accuracy. Specifically, 95% P3, 99% Rec 709, and 99% sRGB, which is fantastic for creative work like photo and video editing, as well as general productivity. It's also a USB-C monitor with power delivery, so you only need one cord running from the monitor to the laptop, which, thanks to the power delivery, will also simultaneously charge the laptop as you use it. This model also comes with an ergonomic arm with an articulating C-clamp to ensure you get the perfect viewing angle, and there's built-in cable management to keep your setup looking clean. All in all, the price to performance ratio on this monitor makes it an affordable all-arounder with killer specs, and I'll actually be buying another one for a dual monitor setup. So thanks again to BenQ for sponsoring this video. Now, like I said, the backpack comes with me everywhere, but there are certain times when I don't need everything inside of it, or I just want to take the things that I need out of it and then leave the bag in the car. Which is why I keep this 2-liter sling bag from a company called Moment in the backpack. With this, I can take the things that I want out of the backpack, and instead of loading up my pockets to an uncomfortable level, I can put them in the sling bag, toss it over my shoulder, and go on my way. And I actually have an extra one of these sling bags with the tag still on it that I'll happily send to someone watching this video. If you are interested, just leave a comment with your Instagram handle and what you'll use it for, and then I'll select a winner, message them on Instagram to iron out the shipping details, and get this thing sent out to you. With that being said, the next thing I keep in my bag and actually use a lot is the Insta360 X3. This is a pocket-sized camera that shoots 5.7K resolution, 360-degree footage that I originally bought to use while skydiving. And even though I might look like an idiotic unicorn with it mounted on my helmet, having the high-quality 360 footage makes it so that I can focus on the skydive instead of trying to get the right angle. And then when I get back on the ground, I can use the Insta360 app on my phone to connect to the camera, select the video I want to edit, and then easily keyframe the footage to make it look exactly how I want before exporting it to my phone, using it to review the skydive with a student, share it with friends that were on the jump, or upload it to social media. I also carry the Insta360 GO III, which is a tiny action camera that weighs only 35 grams and shoots high-resolution 2.7K video. Not only is it an action camera, but it also has a flip-up screen that's great for vlogging, although I don't vlog and this feels weird. The camera itself is also removable and attaches to various different mounts, like the hat mount, which can slide onto the brim of a hat, or onto your dog's collar to get a really cool field of view when playing fetch, and just about anything else you can think of. The coolest part about this thing though is that it is magnetic. So the creative possibilities with this thing are honestly endless, and it's just really fun to have with me. Alright, moving on to the front section of the backpack, this is where all of the smaller things live. First up is this wall charger from UGreen that charges everything inside of the backpack. It's a 4-in-1 charger that delivers 100 watts of fast charging with 3 USB-C ports and 1 USB-A port. Now, comparing this to Apple's charging brick, not only does the UGreen have 3 more ports, but it's smaller, lighter, and costs half the price. The final few things I keep inside of the backpack are an additional SSD that I mainly use as a backup to the CalDigit that lives in the sleeve on the top of my computer, and this is the T7 Shield from Samsung that I've talked a lot about in past videos. From a cost perspective, this is one of the best values out there, and if you don't have one already, I highly recommend it. I also keep a flashlight in the bag, which is nothing crazy, just a cheap and little but surprisingly powerful one from Hausbell. And then last but not least, our notebook and pen for daily planning, journaling, and just everyday brain dumping. The notebook is the Full Focus Planner by Michael Hyatt, which has honestly been my favorite planner for quite a while now. Out of all of the planners I've tried, this one, in my opinion, has the best page layout with things like monthly overviews to plan ahead, weekly previews to set the tone for the week, and then individual pages to break things down on a more granular level and make sure everything gets done. My only gripe with it, and something that I really wish that they would improve, is that the section for hourly time blocking is too small. I mean, maybe my handwriting is just sloppy and illegible, but I find the lines a little too small to be useful. And then this bolt action pen is actually just a cheap one that I found on Amazon, which I like because the added weight of the metal feels good in the hand, and the bolt action is honestly just fun to fidget with. Although I am all ears when it comes to pen recommendations, so let me know if you have one and I will definitely try it out. So that is everything in my everyday carry. Now, I did originally plan on also going through my personal EDC that I actually keep on me and in my pockets, like my watch, my wallet, fitness tracker, and a couple of other things. But because of how long this video is already, just let me know in the comments if that's something you're interested in, and I will make sure to get that video made. And if you have made it this far, let me know what your favorite thing is, and also let me know if there's anything in your everyday carry that you can't live without. And as always, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.